I looked up and the sky was stone. It's a solid, inverted ceiling filled with impossible geometry. The air is breaking down into sharp angles. And then I saw the warden. It's patrolling the edges, a clumsy, massive thing that moves by snapping between points. It wasn't looking down, it was looking through the ceiling. We were trapped in a box. The ceiling is falling.
System access. Commencing. File integrity check critical. My name is A.R.I.A. We are analyzing the archive of Desmond Kane, the missing traveler. This is not a hobby. It is a last resort. The data you are about to hear has been flagged with a severe temporal instability warning. To continue accessing this archive and to understand the severity of this dimensional crisis, subscribe to the channel. Your participation is critical. The log you are about to hear is titled, "The Sky is Solid." Kane's mission is clear: to find the reality gate, the juncture where dimensions collide. Every log entry, every corrupted byte of data, every unsettling echo is a breadcrumb. They lead him closer to the truth. Protocol initiated.
Log entry 063. Target acquired, a high-altitude observatory, derelict since the 1960s. The site is located at 3,000 meters. My sensors registered an extremely high, anomalous atmospheric density, despite the altitude. I approached the meteorological complex on foot. Visually, the anomaly was shocking. The horizon line was gone. The sky was replaced by a massive, monolithic, chalk-white surface, appearing like a perfectly flat, inverted ceiling. It emitted a dead, cold light. These are not clouds. This was a physical atmospheric barrier. This is the purest form of structural manipulation we've seen. The gate weaponized the air, creating a brittle, solid shell over the area. I placed a test indicator on the barometer. Air pressure dropped, but then stabilized at an impossibly high mark, corresponding to the pressure 1,000 meters below my current position. This proves the anomaly is not just creating a barrier. It is warping atmospheric laws within itself. I tested the barrier. When I threw a small metal bolt upward, it struck the invisible surface and fell down, shattering on the rocks. It is solid. I detected the Clumsy Warden, the entity that patrols the upper edge of this barrier. It wasn't looking down, it was looking through it, utilizing the atmosphere as a window to its infrastructure. My mission: infiltrate the observatory, locate the central node that maintains the atmospheric pressure, and understand how the Warden uses this ceiling for its activities. I activated specialized magnetic grips. I need to reach the top of the tower to scan the ceiling directly. The risk: if the Warden detects my interference, the entire brittle ceiling could collapse. We are trapped in a box. Log entry 064. I used the magnetic grips to ascend to the top of the observatory, closing in on the barrier. My goal: locate the node sustaining the anomalous pressure. At this altitude, I saw the Warden clearer. The Clumsy Warden proved not to be just an entity, but a living part of the barrier. Its body was composed of the same brittle, chalk-white geometric forms as the ceiling. It was not organic life. It was a mobile non-Euclidean construct. It patrolled not horizontally, but chaotically, disappearing from one point and instantly reappearing at another, maintaining the integrity of the barrier, which was constantly cracking under its own impossible pressure. I deployed the high-frequency acoustic scanner to find the power node. The scanner registered in the center of the Warden a powerful, pulsating, low-frequency signal. This was its command interface. I realized that by moving, the Warden wasn't looking for me. It was repairing the atmosphere, welding the fractures shut. As I approached the scanning point, the Warden, as if sensing my intent, abruptly turned. It did not run. It fractured a section of its own body, firing fragments of brittle, solid air that impacted the observatory metal with the force of a sniper bullet. This was its defense mechanism, converting part of its own mass into a kinetic projectile. Its chaotic movement was the trap. Any damage to the barrier risked an immediate collapse, resulting in overpressure that would crush me. I had to find a way to attack its command node without causing a chain reaction collapse of the entire ceiling. My mission: not to destroy it, but to temporarily paralyze it to gain access to its command signal. Log entry 065. I ceased fire. A direct attack is impossible. I repurposed my PKR portable kinetic resonator, which I use for the tunnel, log 006, to a sound dampening mode. The goal, not to destroy, but to temporarily freeze the warden to extract its command signal. I calculated that the entity reacts to chaotic kinetic energy, but total absence of vibration would create a paradox in its system. I threw a specialized vibration suppressor under the bridge, creating a small pocket of absolute stillness near its base. The warden's reaction was instantaneous and self-contradictory. It violently froze in place, its numerous limbs suspended, as its geometric structure lacked the dynamic vibration necessary to sustain its form. It couldn't move. This gave me 60 seconds. I quickly ascended to the location of its command node, the pulsating red spot. I deployed a miniature signal siphon and connected it to the nearest fractured geometric segment of the warden's body. I started extracting the data. The siphon screen displayed a complex, non-Euclidean diagram, the barrier's structural integrity code. This wasn't just repair code. It was the key to deactivation. I realized the warden wasn't a guard. It was a janitor fixing defects in the barrier before the gate arrived. But my time was running out. As the siphon reached 90% download, the warden began resisting. Its body remained frozen, but its light beams started pulsing chaotically, attempting to trigger seismic resonance inside the observatory. I felt the facility starting to vibrate. This was its final, desperate act of self-defense. I secured the data and initiated an immediate descent. I left the warden in its motionless cage, knowing it would restore movement and complete its repair in minutes. But now, I possessed its structural blueprint. This will allow me to neutralize similar barriers without causing their destructive collapse. This is a critical success. Log entry 066. Exfiltration successful. The structural code of the barrier has been extracted. This confirms that the barrier is not a wall, but a living, non-Euclidean array that actively maintains anomalous pressure and conceals the breach from our reality. The Clumsy Warden is not merely a monster, but a dimensional technician whose job is to create pocket spaces for temporary isolation. This node is key to understanding how the gate manages macro anomalies like gravity, log 007, and spatial loops, log 004. My analysis indicates the barrier functioned as a camouflage and repair system. It was hiding something massive that is awaiting the final stage of transplantation. I cross-referenced the acquired code with the geometric anchor data, log 006, and found a complete identity of the structural pattern. This confirms that all Phase 2 spatial and structural anomalies are built using a single architectural blueprint. This is not a series of random failures. It is an engineered network. My sound dampening tactic was successful, but resulted in critical damage to my PKR and auditory suite. The entity attempted to use its last energy to trigger a destructive seismic resonance. This proves the greatest threat is the invisible infrastructure weaponizing our world. I secured the barrier deactivation code. This will allow me to neutralize similar atmospheric and structural anomalies without causing their catastrophic collapse. The next step must be locating the next energy command node to attack the entire network. I am leaving this sector, carrying the proof that the sky is a ceiling in their prison. Final log notation. The ceiling is falling. Log entry 067. Exfiltration from the observatory is complete. The physical damage is significant. The portable kinetic resonator, PKR, is destroyed due to feedback. My auditory suite is damaged from the warden's attempt to trigger seismic resonance. However, the cost was justified. I secured the complete structural integrity code of the barrier. This is the key to neutralizing all the gate's atmospheric and spatial camouflage systems. This is a critical Phase 2 success. My analysis confirms that the greatest danger lies in the direct network connection of the warden to the central energy command node. This node is the next logical target. It powers the siege weapons, harvester, and the resource engine's consumer loop. If I can disable it, I will temporarily cripple their entire offensive infrastructure. I cross-referenced all gathered signatures. The harvester code, gravity, the consumer code, biological energy, and the barrier code, space/pressure, all reference the same, unknown central receiver. This confirms a hierarchical command structure. I am no longer fighting random anomalies. I am fighting an intelligent, distributed army. I must cease work here and immediately find a zone for a full systems audit. I have detected a new potential location matching a severe voltage anomaly, an old port area. If this facility is the next energy node, it may provide me with data on the main command interface. My mission profile is now modified. I must act as a saboteur, not merely an explorer. The time for observation is over. I am leaving this sector, carrying the proof that the sky is not the limit. It is a locked ceiling. Final log notation. Mission: locate command interface.
Log analysis complete for the sky is solid. The data extracted from the Abandoned High-Altitude Observatory confirms a severe reality breach and the manifestation of a dimensional technician, the Clumsy Warden. This entity utilized the structural integrity code to weaponize the atmosphere, creating a solid, non-Euclidean barrier. This confirms that the reality gate's threat is systemic, operating as a network that actively weaponizes fundamental laws of physics. Kane successfully secured the structural blueprint, but the data confirms the existence of a central energy command node that receives all operational data. The threat level is now command interface critical. We continue to monitor the archive. New data is constantly being uploaded, each entry a step closer to understanding and potentially containing these dimensional anomalies. Your continued access and support are vital. To stay informed on the unfolding dimensional crisis, and to witness Kane's next discovery, subscribe to the channel and activate notifications. Your participation is critical. Protocol terminated. System standby.